welcome back to the 30 Days to a Kit Butt Etsy Shop series. Today is day 5, which is all about branding and putting the last 4 or 5 days work together. So you have a target market, you have an idea of who your competition is and what already works, you know your story. Now it's time to put it all together and call it a brand. In this video, we're essentially going to be working out your brand's identity. The job of your brand is to make a market identity that your target market will be attracted to. You wouldn't have branding that feels champagne if your product is a cheaper product. You wouldn't have branding that feels cheaper if you're trying to sell a luxury product. I'm sure you've probably walked into shops before where just the feel of the place just hasn't really complemented the product and attracted you in, and that does make a big difference. So for the bath bomb example, I've discovered that my target market are women aged 25 to 45 that have overly complicated lives, that like to relax at night with a simple lavender scented bath. It's safe to say that this type of woman would be repelled by overly complicated packaging and branding and would just probably like to keep things simple. And after doing your research, you may have found a pattern has arisen when you've been looking at competitor shops and other brands in general that are similar to your Etsy shop. So for our bath bomb shop, I would definitely be thinking in terms of a soft, feminine vibe, but very simple branding. So a sentence like that is fantastic to get you started, especially when you're making graphics and shop banners and things like that. Having 2 to 3 words that accurately describe your brand is very, very important and definitely comes in handy. So think about your target market and think about what type of brands they like. Now, if you did the job well with the discovering your competition, which was in day 4, you will definitely know what type of branding attracts your target market, and especially if you've physically been into stores and things like that, you definitely know, what type of branding and colours and attitudes and everything like that attracts the target market or the person that you would most like to sell your product to, essentially your dream client. So definitely pick 2 to 3 colours, 1 to 2 fonts, and get to work designing your brand. Now, there is a blank sheet of paper in the workbooks. You can draw, doodle, things like that. You can spend a couple of days on this. It doesn't have to just be done in one day. You can do this entire 30-day course. Make sure that you do it at your own pace, do it thoroughly, make sure that you have a look at how other competitor shops are doing their branding, and make sure that you make notes and reference back to your previous notes, and also look at your story, because your story will heavily influence your brand. So for our bath bomb example, I would be definitely thinking of mostly white with maybe like a relaxed dark grey for the text and perhaps accents of pink to give it that soft feminine vibe that we're after. Take the time to think about your brand's colours and fonts, and if you're not sure and you need a jumping off point, head to Canva. Canva is a really fantastic tool that I use all the time to design my brand elements for my shops. And it's so easy on Canva to have a play with different styles and definitely get to know, if you're not graphic design minded, it can be nice to have templates and things that you can use and just start off with something that looks good and edit it as you go. So as I said before, this may take you an hour, this may take you a week, but eventually you'll come to a point where you have some brand colours and a general feel and a sentence to describe the type of branding that you know will attract your target market. Now it's time to think of a name for your shop. Now, you might already have thought of a name, or you might have always known a kind of name, or you might want to name it after yourself or something like that. But if you haven't thought of a name, it's time to start thinking. There's not a lot of guidance I can give you on this because your Etsy shop name is personal to you. But what I will say is that if you're stuck, make sure again to reference your target market and your branding, and make sure to accurately describe what it is that you're selling. So for example, my shop's name is Statement Made Jewellery because my jewellery makes a statement, the statement has been made, and the jewellery just accurately describes what it is that I sell. The biggest thing when you decide your name is to go and make sure that it hasn't already been taken. Google it, go on to GoDaddy or something like that and make sure that you see if the domain name and things like that haven't already been taken, because if they have, you may want to just revisit it and try and edit your name, because it might mean that there's a shop out there with the same name already. If you're in the UK, you can do this really easily as well through the company's house search. Another step is to definitely purchase your domain name. As soon as you think of a name, make sure to go and buy your website. You can do this very, very cheap. I think mine costs about £10 a year. Make sure that you purchase your domain name, because the last thing you would want is to, a year down the line, want to open up a website and then discover that your name has already been bought by someone else. This happened to a friend of mine, and she ended up having to change her business name because there was literally no way around it. So please make sure to definitely think about purchasing your domain. So with our bath bomb example, I would be inclined to go for names such as Lavender Luxe, Fizzy Lav, Lavizzy, Bubbles and Lav, Lux Fizz, etc, etc. So you can kind of see that I'm incorporating the lavender and the fizzy, the bath bomb example. So in this example, I'm going to go with Lux Fizz. So I hope that helped you out, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. Go and watch the playlist if they've all been uploaded. If you have any questions, please list them below. Myself or another viewer will come and help you out, no problems at all. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!